Keegs Show.
Welcome to Hershey and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. You guys know what that means? That means it's time to wiggle your hips and shake your nips.
Oh, wow. That's tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight. That's tonight.
Right,
it's the Hershey and the Keegs Show. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Mike Keegan, Mark Hirschman, Tony Walker on the knobs.
Yeah.
And we got a special guest we're going to get into. How are you, Mark?
What's up, buddy boy? Nice to see you. Thank you for coming in the rain. You came here very early tonight, like usual.
Yep,
so
yep.
always happy to have the
waiting
show
around
up
for you
with
guys.
you.
Yeah.
Good. We have Silvio D'Onofrio coming on the show tonight, and we're super stoked about that. As usual, we'll do a little paying the bills first. The Hershey and the Keegs Show is proudly sponsored by Sophia Jewelry at 134 Gardeners Avenue, right here in Levittown. Specializing in diamonds and vintage jewelry, go see Omid for all of your buying and selling of jewelry, and mention Hershey and the Keegs Show for a free appraisal. We, of course, have Platinum Chiropractic and Dr. Kimberly O'Connor. They are fully dedicated to providing chiropractic solutions to address your unique needs. Whatever you're experiencing, back pain, neck pain, headaches, muscle tightness, agita, tension, 516-935-3555. Right downtown Hicksville, Kimberly O'Connor is the best at what she does.
Agita, you say?
Agita is one of the things. It's
Nice.
a new medical term. New View Construction. We know those people. They've been at my house many times. Established in 2007, they are the people to call for the finest craftsmanship and all of your general contracting needs. Call 516-924-5627 and do it with confidence. And of course, American Restoration Solutions, our boy Keith Dunn, the senior account manager, who handles not only mortgages, but he also handles things when disaster strikes. They will guide you to recovery. American Restoration Solutions, call 516-662-9377. And with no further ado, we have our guest, which we have to give a little extra shout out because we are booked basically for the rest of the summer. We wanted to get Silvio D'Onofrio on. He did not have a lot of notice, and here he is. So welcome and thank you, my friend. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm not as busy as you could see.
No.
Not as busy. I'm just not busy. Let me clarify that.
You cracked open an opening for us, is what you did.
Put a lot of shit aside to come here.
I had to cancel a lot of shit.
Exactly.
Tours, everything, just to come here.
We appreciate it.
I think what people need to realize is that forget about what your schedule is like, your life, your show life. The fact that you're married with children and you were able to get out with a couple of days' notice is in and of itself a pretty amazing thing. So thank you for that.
No problem. That's the hardest part. Yeah.
Mark gets out 1 hour a week barely. He lives 3 minutes up the road.
I live up the road. This is a major accomplishment for me once a week. So the fact that you're here, kudos to you. And again, we super appreciate it.
You married 2 more?
I'm married. I have 3 children, but I'm much older than you. My kids are 22, 20, and 15.
Okay.
And even still, it's a little bit of a thing. But you have little kids,
Little
right?
kids, yeah.
How old are
yeah,
your
yeah.
kids?
I got 6, 4, 2.
Wow. Oh, you got
Yeah.
3 kids.
3 kids,
Too.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah,
Jesus
three kids,
Christ.
three kids.
Every 2 years.
You guys are
just
like
do
fucking
this.
rabbits.
No more.
Jesus.
Yeah, no more. I got
That's
snipped.
it.
The wife made me get the kibosh.
Yep.
Dude, we are, like I said, we're super appreciative. We're both, major fans of what you do. I don't know as much about you as I want to, so we're going to find out tonight. How did this phenomenon known as
Should
Silvio
make that sound a
D'Onofrio?
little creepier, Mark.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be after the show. I know your name is Silvio D'Onofrio. I know you obviously come from Jewish heritage.
It was Andrew Parker.
Yeah.
You come from Israeli background. How did this come about for you? You were the funny guy that all of a sudden started doing stand-up, or was it social first? Tell me a little bit about that.
I always wanted to do stand-up. I think I did in like 2009, like an open mic at like New York Comedy Club when I was at NYU, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do stand-up, and like it went good. And the guy was like, oh, you should come back. And I was like, yeah, I just like kind of want to party, so like it's not gonna happen. And then it really started as like I guess because I'm Italian, like I hold like an aggressive grudge. And
Just in life in general.
Yeah. Like it doesn't matter. Like Keegan right now could be like, wow, those shoes are like dirty, and I'll be like, all right, motherfucker. Like every time you see
wanna
me,
go? Yeah, you wanna go?
like, what, like I'll wear like just like a vendetta and hate him.
Yeah.
And
Keegan's going to be there. I have to sparkle my shoes before I get there now.
I'll be like, oh,
exactly.
this motherfucker gonna learn. I got my shine box.
Yeah, exactly.
And basically, I won't give no names. I'm not giving nobody credit for shit. But
Give yourself credit. You deserve
this guy
it.
at my barber shop was there, and he was like posting a bunch of shit on Instagram like years ago. I'm talking like 5-6 years ago. And look, his videos are funny. I would always like die laughing at him, and I'd always give him like all these ideas. Like every once in a while, like, yo, you should try this, like, you know, and whatever. One day I was like, yo, you should try this, and he was like, it'll never work. And I'm like, all right, like, what the fuck do I know? Like, I don't post shit on Instagram. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend I'm an expert. Like, you're doing it. So, and he posted it. And it did like really well, and I'm like, oh, all right, nice. Like, and I just like commented, I'm like, oh, this is great, like, you know. And he always commented back. He never commented, but he DM'd me. It was like, you know, it's not about the idea and the execution. I'm like, is this motherfucker big timing me?
He big timed you.
And right there to that day, that was not last December, the December before. So what was that? 22, 23?
Yeah.
I've only been like really doing stand up for a year and whatever it is now, 6 months, 7 months. Yeah. And it was then, and he
were like, well, yeah, why am I going to get
He
all
went
these
on
other guys'
tour.
ideas?
I called my little brother like a scorned woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, this motherfucker thinks he's going to big time me. I'm like, I'm making videos starting in January. I'm doing stand up. I'm going to show him in 2 years. This motherfucker going to be a nobody. He's
That's
gonna
the
be
most
asking me for
Italian
open.
reason to start doing stand up.
Yeah.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like,
All out of bitterness.
yeah, it was like you ever watch Detroit Rock City?
Of
You
course.
strike me as a Kiss guy.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's one of my favorite movies. I'm a big
very
Kiss
good
guy.
Beth is my
Yes.
favorite song. You sing it to me right
What
now.
song?
Beth. It's like a.
Oh, great song, Peter
Yeah,
Criss.
of
Yeah,
course.
my dad's been in the Kiss Army since like '76.
really?
I love
so,
that,
yeah,
dude. I love that.
But I literally said to my brother, like I quoted Detroit Rock City. I'm like, remember, Kiss opened for Blue Oyster Cult, and a year later, to the fucking day, he's gonna like. I was like, that's what's gonna happen with me, that motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
And I just started doing shit.
So what came first? You perform first, or you doing social first? What happened
No,
first?
so I did. I think I posted like a video on Christmas before last year. That was like the first thing I did. It was just I don't even remember what the fuck it was because I used to only do like stupid videos about my wife.
Okay.
And then I think I did my first stand-up show, like a Laughing Buddha show, like a bringer, right in the beginning of the year, like maybe like January 7th or something.
Okay.
And like the videos weren't moving or anything. I didn't have I think I had like 500 Instagram followers. And this old lady, I don't want to call her old. This lady I worked
Older
with.
than you.
Yeah, there's someone a little more mature than me.
Yeah.
There you go.
That I worked with. It's like loved TikTok. She was like a marketing major, and she's like, "You got to do this. I'm this trend on TikTok." I'm like, "I don't got TikTok." She's like, "Well, it's like I'm a podcaster. I talk to people about nothing, like shit like that."
Yeah.
She's like, "You should do an Italian one." I'm like, "Nah, I don't know. I don't really do Italian stuff." So I was like, "All right." So I did it, and I remember I like posted it, and I said to my wife, like, "This shit ain't gonna do anything." And like, I like took a shit. I came back. I looked at my phone and it was like within 20 minutes, it had like 20,000 views. I'm like, fuck, I'm viral. That's it. And she's like, calm down. I'm like, you gonna learn. And then like it just like picked up. It got to like maybe 400,000 like within like a couple of days. And I'm like, it was taking off. I'm like, maybe I should do another Italian thing. And like, I just came up with a lot of people do it now. Like I know like Tarek. I'm not saying I did it first, but I did like a tracksuit Tuesday. I'd wear like a stupid Sergio and American Italian names, I would say, like literally as a joke. I'm like, oh, this guy's a fucking hua, like a who, and then I write hua and what it is and use it as an example. Yeah, and it just fucking kept picking up, and then it was weird. Like Sergio Tacchini, like someone reached out to me.
No
from
way,
the brand.
really? That's awesome.
That's how I have all the tracksuits. People think like I buy them. I'm like, bro, I have like 55 suits. I'm like, they gave me a ton of them. Yeah. They stopped giving them to me in March of that year. Because they sent me a green one. They're like, hey, can you post something like on St. Patty's Day with the green one, like around there? I'm like, yeah. And I literally like used the word jamope as one of the words. And I was like, yeah, my buddies called me on Sunday to go to the St. Patty's Day parade. What am I, a fucking jamope? I'm like, I'm Italian. I'm not going there. And like she messaged me like, we can't send you anything anymore. Like we don't support racism. I'm like, lady, I'm calling people like this and that. Like the fuck racist. Yeah. And I was like, all right. And then this guy in Staten Island owned a shop. He's like, yo, come by. And then he was giving me stuff nonstop.
Just like
that.
that.
And that was like kind of it.
So
Then I wrote Italian a little
But one
more.
of the things
One
that
time we got potato chips.
Oh
Remember
yes,
that?
from what was it called?
Hal's potato chip.
sent us.
Those good potato chips.
They
That's
sent
great.
us
Those are good chips.
a case of seltzer and a box of potato chips.
Yeah.
So we
they
know
told us,
exactly how you feel.
So we're in
Yeah,
the same exact boat as you with that.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like my wife's like, you should start getting paid. I'm like, I get all this free shit. Like,
yeah.
To me, like I like the free shit more than getting paid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I look good.
Because my wife's gonna take half the shit. If I get paid, she's gonna take the money.
That's right,
I can't
exactly.
spend it.
Yeah.
Sylvia, one thing that you don't do, which I love that you don't do, is that you're not up there with any sort of bogus fake accent or anything like that.
No.
It's just
Well, according to my wife, I feel like you put a little bit. I'm like, that's how I fucking talk.
No, I don't
It's
find
just
it
like
at
get more
all.
animated. I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, Johnny. I'm like,
Yeah, you could be a little more animated. Cause
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what you
like,
do,
Animated
but
is
you're not
what
up there like,
sells,
hey,
but you're not doing like you're not doing a Dice knockoff
No,
or anything
no,
like that,
no.
or Sebastian or
Yeah,
something like
no,
that.
no.
You're just
It's
going
Italian
straight.
themed and it's funny. And
Yeah.
you're not like going over the top.
yeah,
and being, you know.
And it's like, what's weird is like, I barely ever post when I have shows, but I've posted like a show before and like, I don't want to say like this happens like I posted and people flock because they don't. But like I was, someone will be like, oh, you'll have a show, and they'll come up to me after and be like, you didn't do any Italian stuff. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's like for Instagram. I just talk about my fucking kids.
I
and my
know.
wife.
I know a couple of comics, and like people come out to see them, and they don't do the stuff that they're doing on the social
I'm like,
media
dude,
because they have an act. They have an act, and they want to do their act. And people get upset. I'm like, but yeah, you just watch them. They did actual material that works with the rest of the audience. They're not, they're not trying to come here and be your puppet.
Yeah. Like the guy was like, the one dude who said it to me, he's like, I mean, you're funny. I was just expecting like a lot of Italian stuff. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, I'm Italian, but like how I act on like Instagram, like I'm not Italian like that. Like,
Right.
like I'm just a normal New York, I guess, Italian guy.
So from the stand-up perspective, did you just self-teach yourself? Did you go to a workshop, a class? Like,
I kind of self-taught. I mean, I did, like, I went with to Carrie's once, like, before,
Okay.
and she, like, kind of went over some of my jokes, but it was just stuff I thought was funny.
yeah.
And
That's
then-
the way to do it. I mean,
Long hit.
there's the comedy classes that you go, and it's 6 weeks, and it's regimented, and they write your material for you, and you can't teach delivery. What Carrie does is she teaches delivery. Like I was at her house last week in South Carolina, and she was doing a Zoom class for somebody. And they were coming in, and they sent Carrie one of their tapes.
Oh,
Carrie
God,
just looked at it.
How
but
rough is it when
it
she
was? Oh, yeah,
God, I
dude,
remember when I went there, I'm like,
was-
I shouldn't even do this. This is horrible.
And Carrie's
Yeah.
relentless.
Oh, she don't stop.
But I'll tell you one thing: she made the person a lot better. She didn't write the material.
Yeah.
She didn't even punch up any of their jokes. She told them how to deliver the material better.
Yeah.
Because some people can read the phone book and the audience is gonna laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what Carrie does. So that kind of class is really useful.
Yeah.
It's not somebody writing your material and sending. it
Yeah, I
out
literally
there.
went there with like I gave her a tape from like a show I did. I had like a couple of shows. She's like, give me all the shows. I'm like, all right. I showed her, and like I'll never forget. Like the first one I showed her, it was, I went out, but it was like a little bit of time because I was walking to the stage, and I got up. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, 40 seconds before your first joke. I'm like, well, I was walking for like 10. She's like, no, it sucks. I'm like, all right. She's making me write on an index card, and I am.
Oh,
And
God,
she's
yes.
like, say it. So I'm saying it, and she's like, no, go again. And I'm like, at one point, I actually was like, Carrie, I like mentally I had to stop. I'm like breaking down. I can't do this right.
She
broke Silvio.
I literally can't do
broke
this
him.
right at
That's
this
the
point.
Carrie Carabas School of Comedy, and she'll,
Yeah.
she's not pulling punches.
I don't think I ever told you this on the air before or even off the air, but so my first show here at Governor's was July 13th of 2010. It was the graduation show for Stand Up University. And Carrie just popped in. She was not on the show. It was a show of graduates, but Carrie always walks in. She's like, I'm going up. You know, that's what she does. So I go up, and I'm a fucking nervous wreck, and I had a lot of people here, and people were screaming and whatever. I go up, I do my 6-minute set. Carrie goes up right after me. She's like, how about him? He was fucking nervous as hell, wasn't he? And then she goes, I had to sit on his face to calm him down. That's what she said right after that. Fucking Carrie.
Yeah, she's
a pimp.
great.
She's the best. She's
She's the best,
Yeah.
and she's the kindest person in the world. You don't know it when you first meet her, and
Yeah.
she's just
Or when you
loud
know her for 20
Greek.
years. But what you do know is that nobody supports new comics more than Carrie. No one is more of a genuine friend than Carrie.
Yeah.
And ultimately, she will kind of handpick which people she thinks have ability so that she can help.
Yeah.
And you must have shown her something that she saw that you were okay with being helped. Because there's a lot of people that start this business and they present right from the beginning, I got this. I don't need
Yeah.
your help. Well, this is someone who has been past the Comedy Cellar, pilots, TV, all that
Yeah.
shit. If she talks to you, you listen. And somehow you knew that. You knew
Yeah.
that right off the jump.
Yeah.
So how do you have, without having a history of being on stage, from watching your stand-up, I feel like you do have kind of a natural stage presence, which doesn't usually come unless you have some years into it. So are you a speaker for work, or what's your...
Nah. I mean, I'm a sales rep.
Didn't do any
Okay.
like acting
So I
or
like
anything, or
nah,
just
I'm
really
just
wow.
like, I guess bullshit for.
But you're a
living.
talker. I mean, you're
Yeah,
a communicator.
I'm a talker. Like,
so
I've always been like a
Yeah.
talker. I mean,
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I guess I don't know.
do you get
Maybe I'm
the-
just naturally fucking funny. No, I honestly I don't know.
No,
Like,
but I'm not even talking about the funny. I'm just talking about the ability to be on stage from an early point in your career and not seem like you've never been on stage before. So that is something that sometimes cannot be taught.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes very instinctively when you start out your career. You had it at the beginning too. You didn't really take a lot of time to become natural on stage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the funny's still we're working on.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as far as the
Just
stage
like the presence and everything.
So
Yeah.
if you look back at my act from 2010 to now, forget about funny, not funny.
Yeah.
My ability to handle the stage is far, far better now, but I was not natural on stage. I'm not even sure if I still am, although I get by.
No, you do
point
very
is,
well. You are natural on stage.
But at the beginning, I was very robotic.
I want to see like one of your early.
Oh,
sets.
dude, you'll be like, whoa, that's really him. Point being, maybe it's a blessing, a gift, whatever it is. You definitely have a natural thing, which just a gift that you should just keep on fostering.
Yeah,
I mean, fantastic.
No, yeah, no. I mean, that's probably like partly from my job and like.
Yeah.
I'm a big like. Yeah, even if you don't know what you're talking about, just be mad confident.
Yeah,
You'll
no,
be
exactly.
right. Like,
Confidence,
you know,
man.
So,
Confidence is key.
Confidence and exactly.
yeah,
Confidence
I
is
mean,
key.
like even like when I first got into like the industry I'm in, like I'm like a drug rep, and like it's like a lot of science. Some of these doctors ask me questions, and I'm like, nah, well, you see, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just like, well, you see, this is the issue, and I'm
And then
like,
you get in your car like, what the fuck did I just?
I've gotten in my car, like I'll never forget like one of my first weeks in like the job, like I'm right out of college. I ride with my boss. I'm like sweating bullets. I'm like, fuck. I go in there. He's like, look, we got to talk about this study. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know anything about this study. We go in there. The doctor never wrote. He's like, I know this guy never writes, but he wanted to go there. We go in. We start talking. And at the end, the lady's like, you know what? I really like your passion. Like, I got a patient I'm going to put on. And she put it on right there. She told the MA write it.
Script done.
We get in the car, and my boss is like, no one's ever been. I don't understand. Like, he's like, I'm going to tell you this. Nothing you said was true, by the way. But I don't know. I'm like, it's a relationship business, not. I'm like, you can talk all the science you want. They don't care about that.
Dude, it's really an amazing thing. One of my best friends has been a pharmaceutical rep for many years, worked for Bristol Myers Squibb and other companies, and he is the same thing. He has good-looking guy just like you, has the gift of gab.
What's his name?
He lives in North Carolina, so I don't think you would know him now.
I'll say
but
it's kind of a
we'll
small niche, depending on the
I'll
specialty.
mention it after, just in case he doesn't want me talking about it on the air. But this is a guy who
Not as good-looking as
he
you,
golfs. He golfs.
That's tough.
Mark
man.
was
That's
telling me, I
tough.
know.
That's
5 days a week he golfs all the time.
Yeah.
He'll text me. He's like, here, I'm hanging out with Frank Viola, the old pitcher with the Mets. If you want to have him on the show, like this is his life, and he doesn't seem like he works very hard. But again, you can't be taught. You can be taught prescriptions and doses and medications, but to be able to be taught the gift of gab and personality and likability, we talk about likability how much on the show?
Always.
all the time.
Yeah.
Likability, you can't teach. I don't care. We know comics for 20 years. They may get laughs on stage, but the crowd doesn't like them.
Yeah.
There's a difference between laughing and liking.
Yeah.
So if you can do both, you're off to a fucking great start, dude.
Yeah.
Really. Family-wise, you obviously your kids are a little bit too young to get what's going on, but I don't know who's in your life, your wife, your parents. What's the feedback you're getting? Are they happy? Are they confused by this?
I mean, my wife's happy. I mean, she wishes like. My wife thinks right away, like, well, I don't understand, like Kevin Hart and everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how it is, you bitch.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're happy. I mean, for my wife, it's just like she just hates that it's like always like late nights, and then she's like, well, I gotta, you know how they are, like, well, now I gotta put the kids down.
Dude.
God forbid, we both did the deed. God forbid you take a little initiative here.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, she's like pretty cool. I mean, she's like, look, I
She's
hope.
supportive. She comes to your shows.
Yeah.
Or
I don't have her come to all the shows because I don't want to hear her critique. She's worse than Carrie with that.
Oh,
But
wow. Oh God.
no, like she'll come, but
Yeah.
I mean, she's like, look, I hope you could do this instead of like your job.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to Little Mo Mozzarella we were just talking about.
Yeah.
He was a construction guy forever, and now he's doing this full time. So it's not impossible. It's doable if you
even like you guys, Tony, right?
Tony.
Tony,
did.
me and Jay, like we always like say like. Jay always tells me, he's like, look, when you get in comedy, you realize like people have a sickness, like they're sick in the head.
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah. Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
stuff they say, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I can name a ton. And I said to Jay the other day, I'm like, you know what? We'll joke around even with Tony, like, you're sick, none of this can happen. I'm like, bro, he told me last year, I'm gonna get 150,000
Dude,
followers by this.
oh, yeah,
I'm gonna do a
exactly.
tour, and I was like, all right. I'm like, motherfucker did everything he said. I'm like,
It's
I can't
crazy
doubt
that
anything he said.
It doesn't happen very often, but him it
worked.
that happened. I mean, he manifested it. We used to make fun of it, like this guy's gonna be out of here in 3 months. Nobody likes him.
dude.
Staff doesn't like, so like.
and
but,
whether
hey,
that's
good for
true or
him,
not,
man.
still, if
Good for
he's
him.
doing it and paying the bills,
Yeah,
that's what he dreamed of.
So I give him credit, and I always tell like look, there's like comedians like when I go in the city and do shows and stuff where I'm like they're booked all the time and like I don't think they're funny, but I'm always like, you know what, you motherfuckers keep getting booked, so I'm not mad at them.
Yeah, getting booked and being funny is not always connected.
No, I've
we
found,
talk about that
in my
a lot.
eyes, I've found that out.
We talk about it a lot.
I see people who are always on stage, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever watched someone laugh at them.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they here?
Why, and like, why would you keep doing this to yourself? You know it's not going.
But again, if people get opportunity for whatever reasons, whether it's political, whether it's relationships, things like that, who are we to say? I mean, obviously,
exactly.
And it's not. I think we're safe to say that when we talk about it, it's not resentment. For me, you know me, I don't perform that much anymore, so I'm just observing.
I think it's more of just an appreciation for putting in the time.
Yeah.
And the I hate saying the craft. It sounds so fucking douchey.
Fucking
like
loser.
I had somebody on Facebook today, like a comic, like some shit comic from Manhattan's like, well, this happened to me, and they're disrespecting the artist.
I don't like that stuff.
And you have to preserve your respect for the craft,
the trade.
And I'm the artist coming. I'm like, shut up! You're not an artist. You paid in mozzarella sticks to tell dick jokes in the basement. Shut up.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Tell us about how you and Fat Jay came along, because Jay's a very good friend of ours, great fan of the show. Obviously, good people usually stick together in this industry. Yeah. We think Jay's one of the best.
Yeah, he's awesome.
How did your relationship with Jay come about?
So, this is one thing I always say, and Jay says it to me too. He's like, you know, as much as Pork will get me mad and we bash him, I'm like, if it wasn't for Pork, I would have never met Jay. Yeah. So like Jay's like, one time I was talking to Pork, we were all on the phone. He's like, you're a real shitbag, Pork. He's like, but without you, I'd have never met Silvio. So I was at the brokerage one night. Pork was like, nah, don't worry, I know James, I'll get you on. And I'm like,
he
had like 12 fucking toothpicks. The next day I get in my car, I'm stepping on him. I'm like, this fucking dirtbag. So he's like, yeah, I know him, he'll get you on. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll come. I meet James. I don't get on fucking stage. But no, so, like Jay just happened to be there, and I met another guy I really like, Kevin Downey Jr., man.
Downey,
I met him that night. Me and him were talking for like
Downey's
2.5 hours.
Dude,
I was actually talking to him 90%
that's our
of the
boy.
time.
He's the most fun. He's one of my best
he's awesome,
friends.
man.
That's our boy, man.
And
we love Kevin.
It was funny because after I was talking to Jay and everything, like for a little while, he's like, you know, Kevin was like, you don't say this often. He's like, that guy Silvio, real deal. He's a good guy. I'm like, good people know. And
Kevin hates everybody.
Yeah, he was like, well, that's what Jay said. He's like, bro, you don't really like people like that.
Downey hates everybody. Downey shit talk everybody.
Yeah, I was just shooting the shit with him all night. Just met him. And I don't know, something happened. We all came outside, and I think it was like Tom Kelly was out there, Pork, and like when people were walking out, like Tom and them were like, hey, follow my Instagram. I'm like, you fucking losers. And I was like, at first I was like a little turned off by Tom Kelly. Now I really like him. And Jay was out there, and he's like, oh, how do you know Pork? And I'm like, oh, I met him through Instagram this night. He's like, you do skits? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm trying to get into skits. And I was like, yo, I'm trying to do this bocce skit tomorrow morning. Would you be down? And he's like, what is it? So I told him, I'm like, yeah, I got these like 2 black guys I'm good friends with. Basically, they're going to come and beat us in bocce.
Yeah.
And like, I originally asked Pork, and he was like, no, that's tiptoeing the line. You're going to get canceled. It's racist. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not, man.
And I was like, yo, Jay, would you want to do it? He's like, fuck yeah. I'm like, could you be in the Bronx at 7? He's like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, he was like, you know, smoking, whatever. And I'm like, bro,
he's never showing up.
In my head, I'm like, bro, this fucking fat guy's not coming.
He's not showing up.
I call him on my way to the Bronx at, like, I don't know, let's say 6:30. I'm like,
I'm
hey,
already
man,
here already,
I'm on
dude.
my way. Yeah, I'm parked outside. I'm like, damn, this dude is serious.
I've been at the field since 6:30.
Fucking, yeah, exactly. Like a gentleman.
Yeah.
And, bro, we went.
He's reliable, yeah.
Yeah, we went and we did it. And I remember, like, the 2 dudes I was doing with Reg and Lowe, they were like, I don't know if this is going to hit. And I'm like, bro, you got to trust me. I'm like, you didn't think the other 2 we did were going to hit. I'm like, this is going to hit, man, especially with the Italian community.
Yeah.
And we fucking posted it. And I remember, because like Tony was like really blowing up at that point. Jay did a video with him like somewhere, and he did one with Tom Kelly, and like posted it at 6. And I think by like 8 or maybe 10 o'clock, it was like already at 100,000. And he's like, I don't care what anybody says. My most video with Tom was 30K. You're my new best friend. And we were joking around. And then it just kept blowing up. And like Jay kept getting like more. He's like, bro, what can we do? I'm like, yo, you seem to be down with all the ideas I want to do. Like, not everyone is. And I'm like, yo, let's just keep doing them. And
listen, dude, the fucking soccer one is fucking fantastic.
It needed way more. It didn't get the credit it deserved. I hate to say.
It's great. I mean, Jay's pulling his shirt off. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
We were
it's
there for
hilarious.
a while, Tone.
Yeah.
We were there.
Oh,
for
that's right. Tony's leg was in it.
It's Tony's leg.
Right. I forgot about
It's
that.
Tony's leg.
I thought it was someone else's fake leg. I forgot about that.
That all happened
And
from the Knock 'em Dead podcast. that day.
Tony's great acting with the look. I mean, you
That's
are a very good actor.
Can you say that again?
You're a very good actor.
Because somebody said that night that my acting sucked.
You are very good with your leg was even better than you were, but you were
Silvio,
terrific.
you son of a
And
He
Jay,
said that to me.
Jay was fucking terrific. I thought the bad acting was actually good. Like I thought it was.
That's part
I
of the
think
game.
It worked. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's part
thought it
of
was.
it.
I think it worked.
So basically, we're gonna be talking. We're talking about a couple of his skits because they're awesome. If you want to watch them, it's that
Yeah.
Sil on Instagram,
on
Silvio
pretty much
D'Onofrio
everything,
and
yeah,
everything. Because I love the one I just saw when you guys were doing the barbecue with the black guys.
Oh, that's another good one. They
that's-
listen. They didn't think that was going to be good either. That was a fucking classic.
that one's brilliant.
Just go with your ideas from now on. That's it. Just go with
So
your
you want to know
ideas.
the funny thing? Like, I've had like a couple ideas, and like I've done a couple of like you guys know like Jerlon Turner.
Yeah.
All right, so I had this like really good idea that I wanted to do, and I reached out to him. I'm like, bro, you'd be perfect. And he was like, yeah. And I like sent him a script, and he's like, and I'm like, whatever. That's not the point. But I'm like, you know, we happen to be at like Growing Up Italians, like where they shoot, and I was like, yo, let's do it here. And it was basically like almost a play off of like, if you ever seen the Family Guy skit where they're like, hey, this is Italian class, and they all walk in, they're like, hey. So like what I wanted to do was like, and I told everyone, and they're like, no, we should do this. And like, sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like arguing. But then like after I'm like, motherfucker, I should have just argued and be like, no, this is how it has to be done.
Yeah.
You know.
And like what I wanted to do was like we all walk in and there'd be a bunch of people and I'm like, yo, I'm here to be in an Italian class. I think I'm in the wrong spot. And they're like, nah, you're not. And he was going to be the teacher. And he's like, why wouldn't it be Italian class? I'm like, I mean, you know. And he's like, I'm black. I'm like, I didn't say that. And then he was going to be like, did you ever seen The Bronx Tale? I'm like, of course. He's going to be like, I'm seeing Linda's like kid. And I'm like, my bad. And then everyone's going to be like, you fucking bigot. And I'm like, whoa, easy. Like that was going to be the skit. And like, just didn't turn out like that. And I was pissed. Damn. But listen, I've done a couple of skits where I'm like, in my head, like, I'm fucking Spielberg. Like, these things are like,
yeah.
the way I see them in my head, and then they come out, I'm like, fuck, this didn't, like, it doesn't look like it is in my head.
Yeah.
But
No, you're the new Coppola in my mind.
I have so many ideas, like, written in, like, a notebook.
Yeah.
That there'll be times I'm like, well, I'm not doing it unless, like, this guy's doing it.
Yeah.
And I'll just, like, hold him in the chamber.
Yeah.
So, like, I got a couple of bangers, at least I think.
He's gonna hold us in the chamber. I can feel that. I feel that.
I'm ready to
Like,
be in the
another thing
chamber.
is, like,
But yeah.
I think some people on social media like, well, Keegan don't have as many followers. I'm not like, I don't care if you have one follower. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
if you're cool and want to do shit, like, I'll do stuff with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I've had people.
Yay!
I've had people DM me. Like, I met this guy Jack. I think when he DM'd me, he had like maybe 50 followers. He's like, yo, I'd love to do skits, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing something at my house Saturday. If you want to come, this is my address. This is the idea. Yeah. I mean, he showed up like 3 hours late, so he wasn't in it. But I was like, he still got to my fucking house. And he's like, you got any other ideas? I'm like, no, the day he came was the day.
The black guys were here on time.
No, they were. That was the day we did the pool skit, the water polo.
Like a gentleman. They were there.
And
Yeah.
he had come. He's like, well, let's do more stuff. I'm like, bro, I'm going to. It was the day of Kill Tony. I'm like, I'm going to the city. I got to get there early to sign up. And he's like, come on, you're never gonna get called. I'm like, fuck up, bitch. Like, I'm gonna get called.
You had this sickness, you manifested it, and you got on Kill Tony.
Wait,
there you go.
I called Jay on Tuesday that week. You can ask Jay. I was like, yo, I had a dream. I'm going on Kill Tony. He's like, all right, guy. I'm like, bro, I was wearing my Sergio velour suit. I got pulled. I was like, they were like, oh, you're so Italian. He's like, yeah, all right. Fucking dead happened.
It's amazing.
I told I got my hair cut the day before. I was going to my barbershop. I'm like, yo, get ready to leave that space on the wall. Put my poster. I'm gonna be fucking huge. And then it happened. I'm like, yo, I got fucking goosebumps talking about it.
So I see your hair standing up.
Bro, I was
saw
like,
that.
I can't believe this fucking happened.
I love that.
I mean, I wish they didn't fucking dick me over and say the wrong name.
Said the wrong name.
Never got
You watch
justified, by the way. Just saying.
So the thing about social media is that we can post things and get 500 hits, but you remember, I guess it was last year, the social media phenomenon was that video where the guy came out of the car and he was banging on the person's window, and then people were turning it into like music and shit like that. So we did a thing where the guy was banging on us, not banging us.
Whoa,
but
easy.
like,
We did this thing with this guy, and then we shot a video after.
so we did the video. Anyway, we put it up and we had 30,000 hits on it, like just like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it doesn't matter if it hits. It hits. Simple
Sometimes
as that.
I think you just you never know either. Like,
Yeah.
there's times I'm like, this is gonna be awesome, nothing, and then I'll post stuff. Like, I did a video with Jay. It was like a New York video, which I was supposed to do with the black guys, Reg and Low, and they were like, I don't know, and kind of kept it in the chamber. I did it with Jay the day of Bocce, like when we were just there, and I'm like, I put it together, I sent it to him. I'm like, I don't like it. I'm not gonna post it. He's like, come on. I'm like, whatever. We got to put something, like, do something. Put it out. Got like 600,000-700,000 views right away. I'm like,
exactly.
maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
We got to incorporate now that we know he's a Downey boy. We got to figure out something with Downey because
I would love to do something. I got a couple ideas for Downey. Right?
Yeah,
Dude,
dude, we love.
You don't
Downey.
understand. I literally like will meet someone. I'm like, yo, I got a great idea for that.
Yeah, and Downey's just
Yeah.
so marketable and
I'm going to tell you a funny. You're going to love this Downey story. So Downey, a couple of summers ago, had a residency at the place in Saratoga. What's the club on
Comedy Works.
Comedy Works. He had a residency where he was performing every night for the 2 months of the Saratoga race meet. Well, I'm a horse racing guy, so I'm up in Saratoga all the time.
Yeah.
So I texted Downey. I'm like, me and my best friend from childhood are coming up. We're going to come watch a show. We're going to go to the races. We're going to hook up, whatever. So he's like, all right, I'll see you after the show. So we're in the audience, and me and my buddy hadn't seen each other in a year. He lives in Massachusetts, having a couple of drinks. The crowd is like, like 30, 40, not a big. It's like a Wednesday night, whatever. And Downey's like, Hirsch. I'm like, what's up? He's like, I don't really feel like doing all my time. Just come do 15, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm fucking in the audience.
trying to enjoy myself,
I'm with
Downey.
my fucking best friend from childhood. I'm halfway in the bag. I'm eating mozzarella sticks. He's like, I know, but I don't really feel like doing all my time. And I'm
hates
like,
doing time.
so I'm like, and I made him
I
do
like
it.
Downey.
Yeah,
Dude, absolutely, he
he's the
loves
best.
guest spots. Like if he's
Dude,
at McGuire's
anytime.
and 10 people stop down, he's giving everyone a spot. He's like,
I'm gonna have to find out when he's over there.
exactly.
He's usually at these clubs a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Like he'll let 10 guest spots in front of him.
Oh, he's
And
the
there's,
man.
there's other guys that I know they don't want any guest spots.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to do that. They want to do an hour. Downey's happy to do 15 minutes. I was
He's
doing
the
a
best.
show.
Listen, though, I feel like you're gonna get paid the normal. So who the
That's-
fuck cares? That's the way I look
He's
at
been
it.
doing this for
That's
20 something
efficient.
years. He's getting paid. He doesn't need to do 40 or stretch.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me hit these second set of sponsors, and then we're going to tackle some more shit with Silvio D'Onofrio. Easy for me to say. We have, Eric Haft, our boy, Sunray Services. Now is the best time to convert to hybrid heating and cooling. Call them today at 631-231-5533 or visit them online at www.sunrayservices.com. Eric is busy as hell replacing air conditioning systems, so get on it really quick. We have our guy James Nocerino at Triple M Professional Painting and Construction. Just finished painting my house a couple of weeks ago. 516-395-6390. Family owned and operated for over 35 years. Call for your free estimate today and ask for James. Then, of course, we have the fine folks over at Dimitri's Valet Cleaners on Wantaw Avenue right here in Levittown. They have been in the dry cleaning business since 1965. They take your garment care very seriously. Quality is their policy. Mention Herschy and the Keegs. 15% off of your purchase. Now, we figured that out last week. If it's $100 and it's 15% off, approximately what is that?
$45-50.
Something like that,
Around
give or
there,
take
yeah,
a couple of dollars, okay? So you want to take advantage of that. Who else we got? Our boys at Demolition Specialists. Wow, they are the best. 1-855-RIP-OUTS. The number you call for demolition, dumpsters, and fence rental. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. They are a fully licensed demolition contractor. And last but not least, the beautiful New York State licensed real estate person, Diane Keegan. Do you know her?
I know that lady.
How do you
I
know
met her? She gave birth to me.
Right, that's
Nice.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Of course, she's from
like
All
2
Island
weeks
Estates
ago.
Realty Corporation. You can call the beautiful Diane directly at 516-458-1864 or email her at diane@allislandestates.com. If you're looking to
Rent.
sell, adopt, foster, buy,
my bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no,
Yeah.
he got it right. I got it wrong.
and you make Diane your first call. That's Diane I. Keegan. There is no I in Keegan, but there is in her middle name, and she will do the job for you. Our
That's
beautiful
pretty-
friend Diane
Did
Keegan.
you come up with that, or
Just
she
now
sent
I
that
did.
to you?
Just
Oh,
now
I like
did.
that. I
Just
like
now.
that.
Those are our sponsors as always. We appreciate you. Thank you for supporting us, and we will continue to support you guys. All right, back to Silvio D'Onofrio. Your visions, your hopes, where do you see this going? Where do you want it to go? Or are you just doing this a day at a time because it's just too much for you to kind of absorb right now?
Listen, I mean, I wish it was like full time. This is all I was doing. Like I said, I'm a big Vendetta guy. So like, my wife is like, oh, well, yeah. Like I would love for it to pay all my bills and buy what I want. So if my wife says something, I go, shut the fuck up. You didn't believe the dream.
Get that fuck you
Shut up,
money.
ho. I
Yeah. I'm a very big, like, I love my wife. I don't want to sound any
Oh no,
other
I've
way.
seen you post videos, and she seems like she's with it, and all part of it, and she loves it, which is great.
But one of my favorite things to do in a big drive for me is just like proving my wife wrong. Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, you can tell me like, hey, if you do this, you'll get $10 million, or you could prove Jess wrong and rub it in her face. I'd be like, fuck the 10 million.
Exactly.
And some things are more important than money.
The satisfaction's a little
what
more
did
important,
she doubt your ability to do stand up or social or both? She just didn't think that this was going to be.
I don't think that. I think like what my wife does a lot is they'll be like, well, it's a lot harder than you think, and I'll be like,
Right.
okay, bitch, like you like.
Yeah.
I won't say that to her, but in
Yeah.
my head, I'm like, oh, you gonna fucking learn now.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of my whole thing, but she never really doubted it. She just like. She tries to turn everything into a job. Like, well, it's like, and I'm like, oh, shut up, please.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't
Well,
have to be.
she's
like
a
that.
practical skeptic, basically. Where
Yeah.
she knows that it's not going to just come easy. That you're going to have to spend time, devote energy at it. So
It's also, if I become independently wealthy doing comedy, I don't have to listen to anything. You
Oh, I
say
tell her that all the time.
Ever again.
Yeah.
I tell her like my goal is like I make enough money, like doing stand up where like she doesn't work at all.
Yeah, like in Goodfellas.
I'm like, you
in
could.
Goodfellas. How much
Yeah.
you need? I need this much.
I want her to be like, well, and I'm like, listen, just like do whatever the fuck you want. You know, open a yoga. I don't care what you do, but I want to almost be like, I want to be so rich. Like, she says something, I'm like, fuck up, bitch. I pay for all this because of this, so shut your mouth. I tell her that
You
all the
don't
time.
say anymore.
I'm like, I want to financially hold you down.
she's home with the kids because they're little right now, right? She's not
No.
working.
No,
Oh,
she works. Yeah, we
she
own a
works.
business. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we own a med spa. So she works like 2 to 3 days a week.
Okay.
Like a half a day on Thursdays.
All right, so you can't hold her down just yet. Then you're not there yet.
She makes it like, listen, like we both make good money.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to act like I'm struggling or anything. Like we do make good money, and I have a lot of flexibility.
We've
for my
seen
job.
the videos, buddy. We know you make good money.
Yeah, so I don't know about that, but you know Don
Who? Don who?
Don Sills.
Of
Oh, yeah,
course.
oh,
That's
I
what-
live in his brother's house.
What?
Well, not I bought his brother's house.
Really?
We
Wow.
found that out right before I was on Knock 'Em Dead.
Did
Wait,
you know,
so
you know that?
you know
Tony?
the connection. Don?
It's such a weird story.
Wait. This is not the brother that passed.
Yes.
Yeah, Greg.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, so you bought it before?
Before.
Oh, okay.
Right before, like 6 months before, 7 months before.
Jesus Christ Almighty!
Real
That's
convenient.
That's that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we're watching one of his videos.
Yeah.
And Don's like, that looks like my brother's house.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But then there's a scene where they're in
It's
the
the
backyard
outside or something,
and
yeah.
that's when Don's like, "That's my brother's house."
Yeah.
But then it turned
Dude,
into
what are
a
the fucking chances?
The crazy
man?
thing is, I did his podcast and was in my basement.
Oh my God.
right.
I mean,
yes.
granted, the basement was painted and different.
Yeah.
But
But-
it turned into an Abbott and Costello routine
Yeah.
because Don called Jay and said,
Yeah.
"You know, how'd you get in that house?"
Right.
And Jay saying it's Sil's house for Silvio.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So Don,
It was
Don,
like a whole
That's
thing.
even-
and Don's thinking Greg Sill, so
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, I know it's Sil's
know it's
house."
Sill.
Yeah.
And they're going back and
Back and
forth,
forth.
not even realizing that they're talking about two different people.
Holy shit!
And then to make it
Three's
even
company, like
right, and then to make it weirder,
Wait, are you fucking Chrissy in the ass?
to make it weirder, it's Sil D'Onofrio, so like Don.
Yeah.
Oh my
Don-
God!
so
it's
yeah,
Don's
really
house. No, it's
Yeah.
not Don's house. It's his brother Greg's house.
Exactly.
No, not that Don.
Still
But you know
done.
what's
Done.
funny?
Still
Like
done.
now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it, at the time I had just finished my basement because like I don't know if there was a leak, but there was like mold. And I remember saying to Don, he's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm in my basement. We just got it done. I'm like, fucking bastards, you sold me the house. They hid the mold. These motherfuckers.
Holy
and then 3
shit.
months,
Doing a scumbag.
2
If
months
I-
later, I find out.
If I could ever get my hands on the scumbag, that's
If I could ever meet
well,
his
they
brother,
live 2 blocks away from me. They moved like across the fucking road.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we'll blame the wife.
I would kick
It's
his
fucking
brother's
awesome.
ass if I ever spoke to him on a podcast from my basement
So,
when he's
it's
in
just-
his basement.
It's just
Oh
funny.
my God.
But like I still talk to like Elizabeth, like the wife.
Yeah.
Just like I'll get mail sometimes, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, stuff came. I'll drop it in your mailbox or something.
Dude, what a
Wow, that's
fucking
crazy.
horrendous tragedy with
Yeah.
him. Just disgusting. But obviously, Don and Tony are related. They go back a million years. We've become very close with Don. I was on his podcast. He's been
He's
on
a
our
good guy.
show.
He was supposed to be in the soccer skit, but I forgot what he was in DC.
He had
to
2
go there.
legs.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was a problem too. We only needed a handicap.
You know what it was? He didn't want to saw his leg off for the
Well, I
the show.
heard actually
Yeah.
from when like the oven guys from the podcast, I mean from the skit, were here. I heard Tony's got another hand. Apparently he's a handicap trove.
Well, Mike's
a hand
familiar.
guy.
Yeah, so Jeff was in here last week.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we got some
Jay.
stuff working with.
So we're on the air, and
Please,
Jay's on his phone, texting Scylla. We got ideas. I got a guy. We're gonna make videos with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's good stuff
We
coming.
got a couple.
hold
Jay
on.
had a couple.
'Cause
Of
I had
ideas.
no idea. I met Jay.
Can
He
you
was
tell
at-
him
he
the
was-
story? What happened with the?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
at one of our shows, and afterwards I meet him at the bar, and I go to shake his hand, and I'm like, "Where's the rest?" I didn't say it to him, but I'm like, and then I
So
go,
you
I go
went,
to, I kind of went, oh, like I kind of
yeah.
like one of these guys. I went, oh, okay, hi,
Yeah.
hey,
Oh god.
and I go to Richie Byrne. I'm like, Richie, did you shake that guy's hand yet? It wasn't all there, right? And then I go to Tony. I'm like, you can't tell me that you
Right.
can't warn me
So
before.
I gotta
we
get
had-
known for shit like that because I'll be like,
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
We had a discussion with Tony, and eventually the guy called in, I believe, that night on the show.
Yeah, he was
whether
listening. He heard us
whether
talking
Tony was ethically incorrect for not giving us a forewarning.
yeah, Tony, you gotta
that-
warn something like that. You gotta.
Pussies.
Yeah,
Because I would do like, there's one of the skits I told Jay. I'm like, dude, we got to do like an old school like Austin Powers style thing. Like when he sees the mole, he's like,
yeah.
like I was like in my head, like after, like I don't know what the guy's hand looked like. The first thing, like Jay gave me an idea, but the first thing I said is, I'm like, now we got to do some play of like the scary movie guy with the hand, like something like
Yeah.
that, or I was like, or just be like, oh hey, how you doing? Be like, oh you're, handicap, like and
Yeah.
then like Austin Powers. I was like, oh dude, like in my head, I was like, it'd be so.
Hold
great.
on, if we could figure
Yeah.
out a skit like that with a guy who was missing a leg, would be good.
If we can find
if we
one,
can
yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
I don't know where we would go for that, but if we can,
A lot of times they're closer than you think.
Oh, well, I don't know.
exactly.
I don't know. Is that what that is? I thought it was a banana in my pocket. We got a lot of things to work on with this guy here.
Like a
over here.
magician that makes things disappear, and then you just find out the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a great magician skit. I'll tell you guys after because I haven't done it
Save
yet.
it.
but-
Save it for after. We don't want people to know
That's
about
Yeah,
the
no,
Kevin
no.
Downey Jr. one.
it. Yeah. Exactly.
No, I wish it was Kevin Downey Jr.
Right. Kevin Downey.
He makes 17-year-old babysitters disappear.
Yeah.
God.
Kevin Downey Jr.'s biggest thing is how he escaped prison from.
Oh yeah, I know.
situations.
Well, when the party was the Christmas party,
Oh yeah, that
I was
like,
with him. He's like, "We got to take shots. I'm a free man. I got my
Dude, we were
my money back."
When we found out about that, we were like almost crying with
yeah,
joy.
dude. He had
We were
texted me like the whole thing. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm
Dude, we
we took
love
like 3
Kevin.
or 4 like celebratory shots at the
Yeah.
Christmas party
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
I really like Kevin Downey Jr.
Well, so
He's the best.
those 3 or 4 shots that he took with you, he took with 34 other people.
Oh yeah, I could tell
Yeah.
he was sloshed.
Yeah.
already.
There was one year, it was like 4 years ago, where they had to take him out of
Yep,
here.
I
Like,
was
he
walking
Yeah?
in. So I was
he was
walking in.
out.
Oh god,
By
that's
the-
great.
I was walking in, and this is early on in the party, and they
Yeah.
were escorting him out
Yeah.
because he was just.
And yet, because of his likability, most people get banned from a Christmas party at Governor's. They never are to return ever.
Ever again?
He was back the next year, and it was
I
like
think
a
he was
nothing.
back the next. I think he was
You know
back that
why?
night.
Because Mr. Dolce, Mr. Carletto, they know that he is not disrespecting the club.
yeah.
It's not his thing. He respects the club very much.
Yeah.
He respects the
a
wait staff.
party guy.
He's just he's having a fun time.
Yeah, but
That's him.
he's a good time guy.
Yeah, he's a great time.
He's a good time guy. That's
There's
it.
a story Jay was telling me one time where I guess he went to go meet Kevin for something, and Kevin comes outside and he goes, "I'm too famous for this shit. I can't." And I thought like Jay was like, he was fucking around, but I think he was serious. I laughed for like 20 minutes.
So it's interesting. Obviously, this is before you were in the business, but Kevin finished like top
I know, America's
8.
Got Talent. Yeah,
like he
yeah.
was in Radio City, Howard Stern, the whole thing. And then I remember it was just a few years later that I'm in this place in Saratoga. I'm in a bar with him that he took me to called The Basement. It was literally in a basement in Saratoga, this little fucking dingy place where people's dogs were walking around.
God.
And I'm like, motherfucker, you were just with Howard Stern on Radio City Music Hall like 3 years ago.
Crazy, dude. I was like last night. I was with Chris Stefano last night at like some
fuck, I forgot
small
about that.
little venue in Long Beach.
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm doing Madison Square Garden in September, and I'm here tonight. He's like,
But it's a good
I'm
paying
like,
gig.
I'm in a green room that's a garbage pail right
Yeah.
now, you know. Like,
It's nuts.
but it was cool. I mean, he still made like $10,000 last night.
So-
good for him, man.
I
Dude,
didn't
it was
have to text
insane.
you. You secured him for the show, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he'll be in next week.
Okay.
wow, look at Keegan over here.
Yeah.
I've known him
From the start. You guys
from
started out
kind of
around
from
the same
start,
time.
but,
Yeah.
I mean, then he took
Yeah.
his meteoric rise. But
Well,
yeah, it
it's
was
like-
good. It was good to
it's
see
like right
him.
here, you and him.
Exactly.
It's like right right here.
But it's good to see him again. I was hoping he'd be like, hey, come host
Hop
me
on
from
a show,
NMSG.
But you
I
know
had
what's
a
funny
sick
is
set last night too.
Mike-
We did 2 shows. The first show was awesome. The second show was okay, but my first set was awesome. I'm like,
killed it?
And in my head, I'm like, as soon as I get off stage, he's gonna be like, you should host me at Madison Square Garden next
That
month.
motherfucker.
But I didn't get
But
to-
you know what's nice is that Mikey has stories like that. You started out Shane Gillis, same thing. DeStefano, the same thing. So you
Dylan.
have some really good some stories with some of those guys.
Here I am.
No.
Now look at him.
I know exactly.
No, you're
No,
doing,
but exactly.
you're doing
No,
good, buddy.
you know it is because I'm their springboard. And
Right.
then one day one of them is
Exactly.
gonna be like
That was like when I wrestled like all through high school and stuff, and my brother was like, he used to always be like, you couldn't win the counties or like place in the states unless like you got like beat. I was like a Randy Couture, like, you know, like
No,
you couldn't
exactly.
be somebody until like the up and comer had to go against you and let's say
That's
beat you or
that's
something.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I guess that's kind of an accomplishment.
No, I'm grateful. I don't thank you.
No, thanks.
After
I'm
my
grateful,
chewing
like,
episode
those,
last
those
week.
guys are all my friends and stuff. You know,
That's
so
cool,
it's,
man.
You know, so but
That's
you know,
cool.
and then you know, whatever happens in the future happens.
I think things are working out pretty well, and I certainly have seen since.
I see you on everything.
Yeah,
I
man.
try to keep myself out
Dude,
of
since
trouble.
we started, you have taken a meteoric rise just from your stand-up ability alone. Forget about, I don't care about fame or anything like that.
Yeah.
Your level of stand-up has really risen, and I
must
talk
have really
about
been
this.
terrible when I said that.
You were bad.
Well, that's
No,
the
no,
thing.
no.
You sucked.
No,
Now you're halfway
That's
decent.
insane.
You know our circle. I talk
No, yeah.
I talk about it with Monty. I talk about it with Roach. I talk about it with Haft.
Yeah.
That your growth has been amazing, and it's a joy to watch.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, man, we're super proud of you on here. How did you guys originally? Where did you guys first want to hook it up? How did you guys?
I guess
meet?
through Jay. Like,
Yeah,
really.
pretty much
Okay.
just through Jay, and then just just in passing.
Yeah.
being
You
in
thought
the
he
Long
was
Island
Jay the
circuit.
first couple of times.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought Jay lost a little weight. I'm like, dude, that's got to be him.
He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, Jay, you're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
good. And then he
Yeah.
had me in a couple skits. He's like, you're not Jay. You didn't call me sir.
I'm like, this
18
motherfucker.
times.
And you
But,
were just, you weren't hood enough. I realized that midway
exactly,
through.
Yeah. You whited yourself up.
Yeah.
I'm whitewashed Jay.
He's-
But
he's a great
and now
man.
and then just from the circuit and seeing we run into each other at clubs, and then I saw you recently at Palma's wake.
Yeah.
And that's what
yeah.
that's even when I mentioned to you. I'm like, we gotta have him on the show.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a
I wasn't
great
that
guy,
familiar, but I
and-
was like,
He's
you
a
know,
scumbag, this fucking
Yeah,
guy.
no,
That's fine.
But
He
what's
doesn't-
funny
he
is
doesn't care about anything
You
but
know me,
himself.
when the very rare instance where you're actually contributing anything to the show like that, if you tell me a name, I'm usually like, yeah, it must
This guy got to be something because this guy's lazy.
There's been,
Exactly.
although there's been a couple that we can talk about that I want to rip your throat out for. But other than that, though, like
I have a pretty good track record.
very good.
Yeah.
No, I would say like a
I've never heard a
9.3.
bad word about Keegan. I don't ask much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
And
There's
like-
Carla.
Yeah, really, that's it. I will say this.
on the show. Yes,
I will say this. I actually texted Carla one day. I'm like, she probably told you. I was like, when I see you two on Facebook, I'm like, I don't know how you guys are in a relationship. It amazes me. I'm like, I feel like if me and my wife were like, we'd kill each other.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Silvio,
It's-
if you're questioning that, go back about 2 months ago to when she was on our show for an hour. You will really be questioning how that feel. It was, I got more fucking texts after that show than I have in probably all of the other 3 years
No
combined.
such thing as bad publicity. Remember?
No, but the texts were like, was that a bit? Was it a put
God,
on? Or did she really hate him that much? I'm like,
so
no, she
funny.
does.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah, it was good. It was definitely a good
It
show.
made for good
For
radio.
sure. Yeah,
But,
really good. So
yeah,
cool.
we choose not to talk about politics, and that's how it kind of
Yeah.
So you guys have made a little peace treaty as far
kind
as you're
of
not.
because she thinks I'm nuts, and I know she's nuts. You know,
Right,
So we
right.
just kind of
Yeah.
Well, they all are.
yeah, exactly.
It's a
Yeah.
species, like my dad says.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the issue with Carla for you is that she's extremely intelligent. She's very well educated,
Yeah.
and she doesn't. And being an attorney, she will not back down.
Yeah.
Wait, she's
So-
an attorney?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And a very good attorney.
I didn't know
Very
that.
good.
Yeah.
What kind of attorney?
She was doing federal criminal defense for like 12 years.
Oh, so
And
she's a
then
good guy then.
She was for a little, and well, she still is, I guess. Now she just opened up her own practice, and she
Oh,
does
okay.
like personal injury. She does.
Oh, now she's an ambulance chick.
Pretty much exactly. She
bitch.
fights all my tickets.
She's one of those.
But if we walked in here and Mike said my shirt is salmon, she would give a dissertation as to
Like, no,
why he
that's-
was
yeah,
a lying
that's not-
sack of shit,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it would be pretty fun to watch.
But I always say like she's definitely more intelligent, but I have more common
Right.
sense. I'm more street smart. I'm
Yeah.
smarter.
And then she said,
That's like me and my wife. Book smart, she's a genius, but I'm
100%.
like,
Yeah.
street smart, she's like, fucking Shane Gillis is like uncle. You know, it's like, what the fuck
She's
is
making
going
grilled
on?
cheese
Grilled
sandwiches at
cheese!
night.
Yeah. Like sometimes she's like, how am I supposed to do that? I'm like, How the fuck were you the valedictorian of your fucking medical school? Like, I don't understand.
Well, as Carla says, though, street smart, you grew up in East Meadow.
Hey, the East Meadow streets are tough.
Yeah, I grew up south of Hempstead Turnpike.
If you go
though.
5th Street
Is that
down.
bad south of Hempstead?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about Nassau. So
Yeah.
like people like, oh, like I'm on a chat with like
Well, I'm not in like the Jewish area. That's the
Oh, okay. So if you're in Nassau, not in the Jewish area.
Yeah,
it's the-
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly,
Okay.
That's,
Yeah, no, Mike's in
where'd
the-
you grow up? You grew up out east.
I grew up. I went to high school out east. I was born in Queens. Lived there when I was like little. Like not enough to get the street life. But but I was a Longwood guy, so that's Tony knows, man. That's
Yeah.
basically as hood as it gets out there.
It is
It's
good.
either that or Brentwood.
You
man.
might as well live in Mastic at that point.
I was on the other side, north.
Yeah.
I was like Wading River on the border.
All right.
So
Okay.
like people like down the road went to like Shoreham, but I
No, you're an
That's
essay,
not too long,
basically.
man.
You're essay.
Yeah.
You're definitely.
personally I prefer that. You know,
Yeah.
it gives me a little edge.
No, you have
the
the edge. No, Mike lives in the area of the numbered streets, which is always when you have a numbered street, you're definitely a little bit hood.
Yeah, it's like this.
Oh, really? So number streets are
number
hood?
In
streets.
East, in East Ghetto, it is. In
Yeah,
East
I'm
Ghetto,
on-
it is.
Oh, that's what they call it, East
Yeah,
Ghetto.
yeah.
I
on
like that.
4th and Martin Luther King Jr. in East Meadow.
Oh, that's got to be a hood area.
He's,
It's got to be.
he's 3rd in the Jackie Robb is where he lives. Yeah. He's watching out for gunshots all the time. They're
like
water
that.
gunshots, but they're getting them though.
Exactly.
That's great.
Oh God in heaven! I think we really got to work on it. We have some skits in our mind now that we talked about that. maybe,
Gotta do 'em.
we
Gotta
gotta
put 'em to
incorporate.
paper.
We always
Yeah.
listen. We always talk about them, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it this
Yeah.
weekend. And then
No,
Don't
but
do it?
Well,
We
usually
never
it's
do
me
it.
texting
happens.
Mike 16 times and him ignoring me, and then I just give up. But you do have some good ideas too that you fire at. The problem is you'll be like in the fucking Crystal Springs sending me texts, and then you pass out in a hot tub and you forget. You forget
Well,
what
it
you
is like
texted me about.
I got all the ones that I've sent you recently are like
Yeah.
they had to be done like that day.
Right.
Like, it was
Well,
just so
that's like
current.
another thing that sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
if you like Tony does shit so current, but like
Right.
motherfucker puts out 9 videos a day. It's like
Yeah.
I don't fucking have time for that.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
And it's
No.
like he's like, yo, you should do one about 4th. I'm like, bro, I don't have time. Like, if I try to do something at my house, like my kids are on my, I'm like, I don't got fucking time.
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
it'd be great if I could, but
Michael texts me. He'll be like, "Can Max is my 15-year-old son. Can Max come over in a Brett Favre's Packer jersey in 5 minutes?" And I'm like, "Well, Max is taking a Regents right now, so I don't know if that's a good excuse to get him out of his
I'm like,
bio
well, you know what?
Regents."
Then forget it.
Fuck you! You don't want to do anything I say.
that's like, but truthfully, Keegan, I get like that. Like, there's time. Like today, I had an idea I wanted to do because like I've been posting like random stuff dads say and stuff, and it's like on Facebook it's been like blowing up, which I never used to post on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this because like the one I posted the other day is at like 300,000 already, and she's like, all right, and then she's like, I think you should do this. And I'm like, you're all funny. I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. And I just won't do it. I'll get so mad, I don't want her to take me.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Or like, she'll be like, let me do this. She's like, I feel like you look awkward. And I'll look, I'm like, I don't look awkward. I'm like, I don't want you to fucking do it anymore. I'll get mad.
that dude, that's
love that.
hilarious.
Oh, dude, I get like, a lot of fights will be like, if I'm like, hey, can you do this for me? And then like, I'll get aggravated at her trying to put a comment. I'm like, you don't know fucking funny. You know, like,
She could probably have the best idea. He's like, no, you don't know.
oh, no, that's what happens.
That was pretty good.
I'll never forget one time we were in LA. We went to the Tom Brady roast, and
Nice.
Shane Gillis was doing a show, and I'm like, yo, we should get tickets. And we bought tickets, and I was like, come on, we got to watch Beautiful Dogs on like Netflix. Like, you give her a warm up.
Yeah.
She's like, this guy's not funny at all. I was like, you know what the fuck you're talking about?
And I'll never respect anything you say for the rest of your
Well,
life.
we went to the show. She was crying,
Was she?
Crying.
legitimately
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was dying.
It is.
And
it
then
is-
she's like, I'm not gonna lie, he's really funny. I'm like, oh yeah.
It is kind of one of those acts that's a little bit better, better live.
Dude, when
But
we saw
still,
him in
Beautiful
Forest
Dogs
Hills,
was a-
dude, we
was
were
a great special.
We were crying, literally crying when we saw him in Forest
he's
Hills.
great.
Yeah.
He
He's
destroyed.
great. He's
Yeah.
like right now, like by far my favorite. Like,
I think
favorite
he's
comedian.
probably like Keegan, Gillis, vice versa.
Pretty
right
much.
there.
But up top,
Dude,
to
I'll
back.
tell you
Yeah.
one thing. We used to
Yeah.
do this thing, me and Shane, called Paid or Pain. And it was my buddy Jay Nog used to run it at New York Comedy Club. And if there was a dominatrix on stage, and if the audience liked you, you get paid. If they don't like you, the dominatrix tortures you on stage.
I kind of like that.
It would, dude. It was awesome. Like me and Shane were kind of the ones you always had around the audience. You pretty
Yeah.
much liked 98% of the time. But like, dude, some of these acts, and then you see these like little nerdy guys walk up there and just bomb, and the audience hates them, and then the dominatrix is like pouring hot wax on their
I like
nipples and
that.
stuff.
Oh, man.
It was a great idea. It was
Yeah.
we did it at Foxwoods one time.
Have you ever seen? It's more a little hood, so I don't know if you'd watch. It's like the pop the balloon thing.
No.
All right, it's not gonna make sense to you there.
Well,
There's
I'm
a-
gonna get into it.
There's this like hood thing where it's like it'll be like all girls,
Yeah.
and they have a red balloon, and then a guy walks in, and like if they don't want to date him, they pop the balloon, and then they like go, well, why'd you pop the balloon? And they'll be like, and he came in here like looking like this, and I don't like it. And usually the guy's always like, well, bitch, you ugly anyway. Like that's how it goes. And then like once he says that to her, you'll hear like pop, pop, pop. And like, why'd you pop? Well, he got all cocky, and he's like, well, fuck you. Like that's basically the whole show.
That's awesome.
And they do it guys, girls, vice versa. But like, I just saw someone's doing a pop the balloon comedy show.
Oh, really?
So like, if your jokes are good, the balloon doesn't get popped. Like it was a pretty cool concept.
It is, yeah.
And I'm like, yo,
exactly.
that's like an awesome concept.
It's an awesome. It is an awesome concept. And this was so much fun. We used to have a lot of fun doing it, and there were several different dominatrixes that used to come out. But I remember one time Travis Grant was on it, and this is when he was first starting out.
Yeah.
And dude, it was so funny. Shane was there, and we both went already, and we did well. And then Travis goes up, and he did pretty well, but he's just such like a good-looking guy that like everybody hated him.
Yeah.
Just like everybody just hated the.
I know how that is.
So just
For
the
some
audience,
reason,
the
people
audience
hate
just ended
me.
up booing. Like he got laughs the whole time, but then they ended up
Then they
booing
booed him?
because they wanted to see him get tortured.
like that.
And his dad was in the audience, and I'm standing in front of his dad while this dominatrix is like spanking him, and his dad's just like, yeah, fuck him up, keep fucking him up. And
I
I'm
like
dude,
that. I fucking
Dad
love
was
that.
awesome, yeah.
I love that.
Oh, that's so great.
Dude, what is your? You mentioned your wife, but like your parents, like are they into it? Are they appreciative of what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, my dad likes it. Like a couple of times, people at my dad's job's like, "Oh, I got to show you this guy. It's mad funny." My dad's like, "Yeah, that's my son."
Oh, really? Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
So
That's
it's like
awesome.
pretty cool, but. I mean, my mom is like, she don't really give a shit. Like, I mean, like, she's been to shows, like, she'll support me and stuff, but it's...
But do you think, being that you're doing the Italian dad thing, you ever think of incorporating the Italian son thing and bringing mom and dad into a video or two?
Oh, my dad would be so fucking awkward.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy, but he'd just be so... It'd be so bad. Like, he'd make it so... I'd be like, Dad, just
Well, he
fuck
doesn't
you."
have the same gift of gab as you. He's not.
No, he does, but
Oh.
not like... I don't know. Like, I had him try to do something once. I'm like, Dad, say this, and he's like... Yeah, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing, Dad? And like my brother was there, we're like, Dad, what are you doing? You're like a fucking retard. Like, so it's like I don't know, he don't got it.
Yeah.
So have you been tracking, like, can you tell what kind of growth you're having on Insta and TikTok? Are you like, do
I
you
don't
see yourself
ever
trending?
post on TikTok.
Okay, so
I just started, like, now people like, you got it. I'm like, it's just...
Why though? Why?
I think it was like when I started, like, for instance, like, let's say Bocce, like, on Instagram it did however much. On
Yeah.
Bocce, I think it got like 200 views. I'm like, man, these motherfuckers don't know what they're like. I guess I got discouraged.
Now you have
Like,
a
but
vendetta
when I
against TikTok.
Now I hate TikTok. They should ban it.
Yeah.
But like when I first started, like the Italian tracksuit stuff was flying. Like they were getting a couple 100,000. It just got a lot to do all that. And then
Right.
it's like, actually Big Joe Gambino was like, you post on Facebook? I'm like, nah. He's like, link them and just let it post. He's like, yo, you'll get paid. I don't get paid on any of it.
Yeah.
So I don't like people are always like, yo, how much you get paid on it? I'm like, nothing. I'm like, dude, I still can't go live in this because I always like break the code of conduct.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my problem is like I go at people if they come at me. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, I'm not backing
Yeah.
down. And it always gets to a point where
You got to have a certain mentality for the.
So now what I do is like whatever I really want to say, however dirty it is and bad,
You edit
I put
it
it in
a little
Chat GPT and I'm like, what won't break code of conduct? And then post it.
But you're at the threshold with enough followers and views where you can be profitizing off of Instagram now.
I think so. My wife just got $5 from a video on Instagram.
Oh,
I'm
there you
like,
go.
and I posted. I'm like, I'm quitting my job.
I love that.
But I'm sure I can. Like one of my Big Joe's like, yo, you should do a subscription page. I'm like, I'm not charging people to fucking watch different things. I'm like, I don't even got enough time to make whatever
Yeah.
you call it, content or videos now. I got to do other shit. I'm like, I don't got time for that.
So, do you find that it's not
Then
the
it becomes a job also. I mean,
yeah, I don't
you
want
don't
it to be
want
a
your
job.
job.
Like I do it because it's fun.
But are you finding that the content making is longer or the editing of the content making?
I usually send it to this kid now. Like,
Oh, okay,
I'll
good.
try to edit it, but like
Okay.
sometimes I'm like, I ain't got fucking time for this. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather just be like, yo, I'll give you like 20, 40 bucks, whatever. Can you
Right.
just like chop this up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
'Cause
like
you're taking
it's
care of
too
little
much.
kids. You want to play with your kids. You want to,
so
you're
it's
going to have
like,
sports
I
to
don't
go
got time
to.
for that shit.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but
Awesome.
It's like it is what it is. Like I mean, I've grown decent, I guess. Like
Yeah, man. You
probably do
definitely
like
have.
maybe 1,000 followers. Like I would say average like a month.
Okay.
But
Dude.
obviously, if I have like a really good video, it'll spike even more.
Yeah.
But it's like it's one of those things I think that's weird. Like I just reposted a video today, like that because I didn't have time and I took an old video, remixed it, and just reposted it on my page. I think the video I posted, I got the most followers from. Like when you could check, I got
Yeah.
like 1,600 followers, and it hit like
That's
200,000
fucking
right
huge,
away.
man.
Yeah.
That's
I just
huge.
posted it now; it's not even moving. I'm like, So I think it's just all. If I don't know, you're in the. I don't look into that
all-
like I'm out of the out.
And exactly.
It is what it
I know
is.
people that drive themselves nuts. I went nuts for a couple weeks where I was trying to post stuff like 3 times a day,
Yeah.
and I was setting my alarm to like wake me up at
Yeah.
4 a.m. so I
But
could
then
post
it becomes.
something.
It's like, you know
Yeah, and
what?
it's like, I don't want to do it.
Listen, Mike, then stop for the next 2 years.
Just stop.
And stop posting for us. You're back, though, this
I'm
week.
back the last couple.
It just,
of
My boy.
You know what sucks is like you could like I'll post like I'll be real consistent for a while. My view, everything will start going up. I won't post for 2 days, and then like it'll dramatically drop.
Yeah, definitely,
So I'm just like, yo, I don't give a fuck. And no one. Every time I talk to Jay in the morning, he's like, oh, this. I'll hear people. Yo, you're fat, Jay. And I'm like, no one's ever said. I'm not saying I'm mad. I'm like,
Yeah.
No, exactly.
I went somewhere one time.
You're Don Sill's brother.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot where I was. Some guy goes like this. You're the guy in all those Fat Jay videos? I'm like, I was like, yeah, no, I am. And then Jay was there. He's like, no, they're his videos. I'm like, come on, Jay, you don't have to fucking be humble. Like, they're yours.
That's amazing.
But we got in the car. I'm like, motherfucker. I've been noticed 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been noticed.
And that's
another time.
great. Those are your videos. You're the guy.
amazing.
I love that. You're the guy from the Fat J videos.
Yeah, one
That's
time
how-
I was at a parking
Dude,
garage.
That's how I will bring you up on stage
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single time
Yeah,
we
go
do a
for
show
it.
together.
Andrew
You might have
Parker.
noticed him from all the Fat J videos.
I was at a parking garage. I lost a ticket. And I was like, hey, man, I lost a ticket. Like, whatever, I got to pay. You know, just tell me. And the guy's like, I got to take a picture first. I thought he meant my car. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he, like, puts his arm around me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you're the tracksuit guy? I'm like, I literally was like, you fucking know me from Instagram?
Dude,
He's like, my
that's
wife
amazing.
loves you. I'm like, oh, my God.
That's it.
That's great.
I would quit
Yeah,
right
that. And then I went to Austin one time before work, and I, like, did shows. A bunch of people there were like, yo, you were the Italian guy from it. And I'm like, all right, yeah. And then I got my car fixed up. Like, I got an oil change at Firestone. And some guy's like, were you on Kill Tony? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, you were mad funny. And then Landolfi, who I didn't know, he came out and was like, hey, man. And I was like, oh, hey. But those are the 3 times. Never again. I wish it was.
It's coming, brother. It's coming.
hope.
Are you going to be doing Are you going to be going to Kill Tony when they come back to the garden?
Yeah. I had to convince Jay to go.
Oh, really?
He didn't want to go.
Mike, you're going to go, right?
I don't. I think I might have something that day. I got to check.
Oh, don't be that guy. Come through.
When is it?
What's the date? Do you know the date?
The
No.
16th, I think.
It's August 16th.
I think so. Or the 12th.
And I got
or-
to see Big J there. Ugh.
You should tell Big J to get you in. Be like, listen, I'll keep her off your fucking back.
Right. That's it.
I'd be using that as a chess match.
Exactly.
It's not a bad
I have
idea.
a show at a 55 and over in East Meadow that day. I don't
They
know.
won't even know the
We'll see.
difference.
They won't know you're there.
We're at the hour point. That show flew. Holy shit. Silvio D'Onofrio, we are, like I said, honored to have you. You're a great dude.
I
Happy
appreciate
to know you. You're a new friend of ours for life. Anything, you just promote whatever you want, shows, social, whatever you have. What do you got?
I don't got much. I mean, you could, all the socials, _Sil. If you think you're competitive, I'm having a giant field day at my house August 2nd. You guys are welcome.
Okay.
August 5-person team. Got to have 2 women.
Okay. That's me and
trying
Mike.
to
Yeah.
Trying to do 20 a person, and then really I just want to get a lifeguard, a couple food, and then the rest, all the pot, like the
That's
money goes to the winners.
That's
We have a
awesome.
big trophy. It's real legit. Nothing comedy related, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it.
That's
Very
awesome.
good.
I love that. I
Yeah.
want to do that.
Mikey, what do you got before we go?
Thursday night, I will be at the Brasserie in Huntington. Massapequa.
That's a
with,
great lineup.
Chris
You-
Monty.
Monty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yep.
Sunday, I'll be in Mount Sinai with Chris Monty.
Good.
Next Wednesday, I'll be in Montauk at Talk with Chris Monty.
So you're in
Jesus Christ, would you follow that guy around?
You're in Monty Talk?
Oh, and then July 17th, I'll be at Piccolo Bussola in Huntington
Yeah.
with Chris Monty.
Oh, wow.
and then Joey Cola.
Great.
But,
Wonderful. Too
but
bad you don't work with Monty
I was
too
talking to
often.
Monty today. I'm like, because we just got like all the confirmations for like the shows in the next
Yeah.
2 weeks from like other bookers and stuff. And I'm like, am I with you like 5 days in the next 2 weeks? So,
I
like,
love that.
I'm with him on his birthday though. July 10th is his birthday.
Nice.
And,
Good.
So it's also my parents' anniversary, and they'll be at the Brasserie in
And
Massapequa.
Good.
Yeah.
Anthony, what do we have going on with Knock 'em Dead Comedy coming up, young man?
KnockEmDeadComedy.com. We're light over the summer, but we got a game show in August. But go to KnockEmDeadComedy.com. We got a lot. in the fall.
KnockEmDeadComedy.com. All Tony's shows. They're fantastic.
Thank you.
Mark, you got one coming up?
I'm going to be Governor's Thursday night, August 14th. It's going to be a great lineup. So go to govs.com for that. And listen, thank you guys for watching, listening. Please share. And for any new viewers, thanks to Silvio. Hopefully you enjoyed the show and we'll come back. I'm sure there's plenty of them. And we will. In the upcoming weeks, we got a whole bunch of guests coming on. We have Matt Sarah and Ray Longo coming in from UFC fame in studio. We have Sean Brown coming in. We got a couple other things in the hopper as well, don't we, Mikey?
Yes, we do.
So as soon as we remember those, we'll talk about them and we'll post them. And again, Silvio, thank you so much. You'll be back again. We love you having you on. And have a good night, everybody.